Hey guys, it's Audress, also known as Wednesday here on Lit Ladies, and this week's theme is rainy reads. So I'm gonna show you guys some of the books that I personally love to read when it's rainy. Basically, I'm gonna split these books up into three categories. The first is mystery. I love to read mystery books. When it's rainy, I think it's the perfect mood for a mystery book. It gives you that like creepy tone without being too much. Like, I don't want to read a terrifying book in the middle of the night, but if it's raining, it has that perfect mood that I just want to pick up a mystery book. So that's the first group of books. And the first one I'm going to show you guys is Crier's Cross by Lisa McMann. And I didn't absolutely love this book, but I think it's a great, like, if you're gonna read it when it's raining. I actually did read this, at least part of it, the last bit of the book, like the last half of the book. I read it when there was this huge storm outside and I was by myself at home, and it was so creepy. And in the book, it started raining, like when the scariest parts were near the end. It started raining, and it just felt like I was kind of in the book. So I think this is a perfect book to read when it's rainy. The next book I'm going to show you guys is Unraveling Isabel by Aileen Cook. And I also read this book during a huge storm. There was a hurricane, and I just wanted to pick up a book that I could pick up, read through the whole thing, and finish in one day. And this was the one that I decided to go with. It's a great mystery where you don't know what's happening with the main character. Is she a reliable narrator? So I think it's a really good book to pick up when it's raining. Along with this one, I would suggest, like, along the same lines, I would suggest Tighter by Adele Griffin. Tighter by Adele Griffin. It's another book where you don't really know what's going on. You don't really know if you can trust the narrator, and they're both quick reads that you can read in a day. So I would really suggest those. The next one is Shattered Souls by Mary Lindsay. And this one is a really good mystery that involves ghosts and, like, exorcising people and leading ghosts to the other side, and it involves voices and visions, and I just think that those are great books to pick up when it's raining. Along with the mystery is really good, and again, it's really short, so it would be a quick read for a rainy day. The next book I'm going to suggest is Wake by Amanda Hocking. This isn't your typical mermaid story. There are, like, killer sirens with sharp teeth, and I think that it's a book that I would pick up over the summer on a rainy day, because I read it last summer and I loved it. It has a little bit of everything, a little bit of adventure, some family drama, some great relationships, and some mysteries. I also suggest Unspoken by Sarah Reese Brennan. This one has mystery, but it also has some absolutely great characters that I fell in love with. They have this hilarious banter, but it keeps you wanting to turn the pages. So this one would be another one that I would pick up on a rainy day to read. And then I have two final books. The first one isn't this actual book, Ghostflower, but it is Rosebush by Michelle Jaffe, the same author as Ghostflower. Rosebush is a mystery about a girl who ends up in the hospital, and she doesn't really know how she got there or what happened that night. And she needs to figure out what happened to her and how she ended up almost dying on that crazy night. So it's actually right here, Rosebush, and it is one of my favorite mysteries of all time. I have yet to find another really amazing mystery like this one, so I would really suggest picking this one up. The next one I'm going to suggest is Truly Madly Deadly by Hannah Jane. It's just a very creepy read. You don't know who's leaving these notes, who's killing all these people. I think it's another one that you can finish in a day, and I yeah, I don't have a lot to say, but I think that you guys should pick this one up. Next, I have two books. It's two zombie books, which I think that would be great to read when it's gloomy out. And those two are This Is Not a Test by Courtney Summers and The Force of Hands and Teeth by Carrie Ryan. Both of these are super, super emotional. They focus more on the relationships than on the zombie aspect, but this one is one of my favorite books of all time. The relationships are fantastic. It plays with your emotions. It just like tears your heart out and puts it back together. I just love everything about this book, so I would really, really recommend this one. This one is also more character driven. It's way, way more character driven than The Forest of Hands and Teeth. So if you guys are like me and love reading emotional books on rainy days, I would also suggest this one. The next few books are mostly contemporary, and these are my very, very, very sentimental reads. They're books that just like make you want to sit down and cry for a while, and I think that those are another category, the third category of books that I really enjoy reading on rainy days, because I don't typically like to read sad books. I don't know, I don't like to, my emotions can only take so much, but on rainy days I make an exception, because I think that those are the days that I just want to cuddle up with some characters that'll make me feel warm inside and also make me feel for them. And those books are If I Stay by Gail Forman. The movie is actually coming out and it looks fantastic. But this one, it's so emotional and it makes you fall in love with the characters. Next, I have Dreamland by Sarah Dessen. This one is, I think, her most depressing book. But if you're looking for a book that will for sure bring out some emotions, I would suggest Dreamland. And I believe I read it in a day. It's very, very short, so. The next one is Chasing Brooklyn by Lisa Schroeder, and it's like the companion. This is the companion to I Heart You, You Haunt Me. This is told in verse, and it's very, very quick, but it's one of the best novels in verse that I've ever read. I've never really connected to characters in a novel in verse as much as I did with these two books. They're just, she has a way of making you fall in love with these characters and making you feel like you're in their shoes, in their position. And so I think that that would be a great book. It also has some paranormal aspects to it, and I think that this would be a great book to just sit down one morning on a rainy morning and read straight through. Next, I have Fracture by Megan Miranda. This one is another one with a little paranormal twist. But this is about a girl who almost dies, and now she can, she has some powers after she almost dies. But it's not your typical paranormal book, and I really enjoyed reading it. I read it in a day, as well as a bunch of these books that I've read in a day. So I think that sitting down and cuddling up and reading a book in one day is just the perfect way to spend a rainy day. So that's why most of these books are one-day reads. So yeah, I suggest this one. There's a companion novel now out that I want to read, or a sequel. But yeah, the characters, once again, the emotion, the feelings are just all here, bundled up into this book. The next book is The Alchemy of Forever. I know a lot of people haven't read this one, but the ending just like kind of crushes you emotionally. It just like kind of cripples you, and I just sat there for a while like, that did not just happen. It's about a girl who changes, she found the secret to immortality and changes souls every so often, and I just think it's a very cool concept. And the final book I have to show you is Monument 14 by Emmy Laybourne. It's the first book in her trilogy, and I once again read this one in a day, but it's action-packed. It has twists that you won't expect. I always guess the twist, and I could absolutely not have guessed half the things that happen in this book. And it's just a great action-packed read that I think for those people that are less on the emotional side, more on the yes, keep me turning pages, this one would be it for you guys. So those are the books that I recommend. Some action-packed, some super emotional reads, and some great mysteries mixed with zombies in there. I hope you guys enjoyed my recommendations, and if you guys have anything that you guys want to add to books that you read on rainy days, leave them in the comments so that I can check those books out too. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.